Hey guys, it's Jenny, and today I'm doing another faceless video because my hair is super frizzy, but that's besides the point. What we're really doing today is a DIY on these beautiful purple grandma pants. And what we're going to be doing is adding heart cutouts to the knees, and this project is heavily inspired by both WC and Lazy Oaf, who each released some purple wide leg pants with heart cutouts. Also, today is going to be a non-sewing video. I'm going to be testing out this product that I found at Goodwill. It's like fusing tape, so it doesn't require any sewing. You just have to iron it in place, and it's supposed to hold your hems together, so hopefully this will work. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this is kind of a weird angle, but now I have my pants on inside out, and I'm going to mark the middle of my knees. And instead of using some chalk or a pencil, I'm going to use tape. I'll just kind of hold it in place and then put the tape right there. And if it's not perfectly even, we will fix that after I take them off. Okay, so now we have each of the knees marked with tape on the inside of the pants. I laid them out as flat as I could. I'm going to just measure now and make sure they are exactly the same height up and distance across. And now I'm going to remove the tape and mark it with pins. Okay, I'm back and it's been about 2 days, so sorry if anything looks a little bit different, but I have placed pins in each of the knees in exactly the same spot. They're both 16.5 inches from the bottom and directly in the middle, which for my pants is 5.5 inches across. So now we are finally ready to start working on the hearts. I traced a heart cutout on some construction paper. I recommend using a thick paper rather than like computer paper, just so it's more sturdy. So now we can zoom in and start tracing. So I'm just going to use some tape and tape the heart directly in the middle. The middle of the pants is the entry point of the pin, so I'm going to carefully tape the heart down. So now I'm going to use my marking pencil. Hopefully it won't be too hard to see even though it's blue. And I'm just going to trace around the edges. I do kind of have to scribble a little bit to get enough pigment to show up because these colors are really similar. But unfortunately, this is the only marking pencil that I have. It's very faint, but my heart is right here. So I'm going to trace one on the other knee and then we can start cutting. Okay, I did a little practice of the heart cutout, just a really rough go of the concept I'm thinking of. So basically, here's the traced shape, and then we'll cut all around the edges in strips and then fold them back, and then on the outside it will create our shape with smooth edges. So obviously I'm going to try and make it much more neat. So here is the heart. Hopefully I think you can see a little bit of the edge. But let's just start cutting, and of course make sure you're only cutting through the top layer of fabric and not through both sides. So I'm just going to start making a little snip in the middle just so I can get inside and start cutting the strips. Try your best to keep it symmetrical on both sides, and then of course we'll remove the extra fabric later. And I'm gonna do extra ones around the curves, and then we can just do really big sections around the straighter areas. Okay, I cut all my pieces and I taped them down to get a rough idea of what the shape will look like. And the top rounded edges are a bit too angular, so I'm gonna cut more strips so it can be like a more fluid shape, but I think the bottom edges are looking good. I added extra cuts here, here, and then the same on the other side. And now I'm gonna try my best to duplicate this on the other knee. Finally, we're at the last step, which is to seal down the edges. And so my fusing tape is really old. It's actually from the 80s because I got it from Goodwill. They do still sell this at the craft stores. It's around $4 or $5, but the instructions might be different. I already practiced on the hem. I cut the hem and then I resealed it with the fusing tape. The first thing I tried was to cover the tape with a wet cloth and then press with a dry iron, and that didn't work. So I followed the other instruction, which was to set the steam iron on wool, and that worked amazingly. So you just press 10 seconds on the front, 10 seconds on the back, and then it was sealed pretty well. And also, one thing to note is that you're not supposed to slide the iron back and forth. You just firmly press down, then flip it and press down again. So before I actually apply the tape, I'm gonna try and crease the edges with the iron just so they're not like flying all over the place. I've ironed everything as flat as possible, so now I'm gonna cut out my pieces of tape and start ironing with the settings on wool with steam. Make sure you place the tape up as far against the crease as possible.
And then just press down for 10 seconds.
And there we go, it's all fused down. After I finish putting on all the pieces on the top, I'll flip it over and give it a good iron on the back. Now all the layers have been fused, and just in case you were wondering, you don't have to worry about getting stuck to the bottom layer. That won't happen. So now all we have to do is cut off the excess that wasn't reached by the fusing tape, flip it over, give it one more iron, and then it'll be ready. And here are the finished pants. I'm really happy with the way they turned out, and this is just how I think I'd probably style them. I really like the look with fishnets or some patterned tights underneath, and I've just been liking these long belts lately. This is a really easy project, even though it took me 2 days. That's because I'm slow and I only work for a couple hours a day. And yeah, I really recommend you try this. Again, no-sew projects are always awesome. They're really easy for everyone to try out. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.